How I Met Your Mother was an American TV sitcom created by Craig Thomas and Carter Bass. It was directed by Pamela Fryman, and it ran from 2005 to 2014. So this show follows the story of Ted Mosby as he is recounting to his kids from the year 2030 how he met their mom. So the cast is Bob Saget as the voice of future Ted, Josh Radnor as Ted himself, Neil Patrick Harris as the enigmatic Barney Stinson, Jason Segel as the lovely and affable Marshall Erickson. I have her name. Allison Hannigan as the spunky Lily Aldrin, sorry about that. And Kobe Smulders as the cool, badass Robin Scherbatsky. So in this video, I will recount to you some of the reasons. I'm trying to get to 5 reasons why you should watch How I Met Your Mother. I'll be talking about what I like about it. There will be spoilers, so I'm raising my voice so that you understand that there will be spoilers. But yeah, I'm going to recount what I like about the show and possible cons about the show as I know it right now. So let's get started with the reasons you should watch How I Met Your Mother. So number 1, as I said, it follows the story of Ted as he is finding out who his future wife and the mother of his children will be. Now the thing is, the show has a framing device because we start out with the voice of future Ted telling his kids how he met the mom. So there's no question about will they be together, will they not be together, because they did get together. They have kids. That's what Ted is trying to say. But we're going to follow the journey. So I think that's one of the key reasons. So the framing device, it's very unique. In line with that, number 2, it's very clever. So not just with jokes, because yeah, some jokes don't really hit, but the way they use time, especially at the latter part of the series, is actually very interesting. Even midway, they were able to toy around with the concept of time, like Ted not getting facts right. And I think this is a very interesting way to have a sitcom, because sitcoms are very formulaic. Like a misadventure here and then you get is basically the same after, with just a few changes to keep things interesting. With How I Met Your Mother, yes, it's a sitcom, yes, it's formulaic, but with the framing device like that, there's a lot of new toys to play with. There's a lot of story elements you can mess around with and make it really interesting. So we have the framing device and we have how clever it is with the concept of time. Number 3, well, is character growth. Throughout the seasons, each character will have a good amount of growth. In particular, spoiler alert, it's gonna be Barney. A lot of people have argued that Ted didn't really grow too much, and I kind of agree with that. But watching Ted's philosophy on love throughout the 9 seasons is a saga on its own. And yes, he did grow. I would say he grew a little bit, but not as much as Barney does. As you know, or if you don't know, Barney is a womanizer. Serial womanizer, sociopath. Just a crazy character. Like, this is set in a real world, but Barney is a cartoon. And you watch him turn into a real boy. Yeah, so there. And again, sitcoms, people don't change much. The formula stays the same, blah, blah, blah. And having a character development like Barney is one of the highlights of the show. And my God, some scenes of this series had me bawling my eyes out. If you know Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, it's at that level of Will Smith crying to his son, like, why doesn't he want me? Yes, character growth. I love the show so much, I tend to ramble on and on. So I think we've covered 4, and number 5, the reveal of the mother. And as we get to know the mother, For someone who was introduced so late into the series, that integration was unbelievable. It was so good. So those were the positives of the show, or the pros of why you should watch the series. So now I'll cover like 3 items on why, or the cons, or why isn't it as beloved as Friends, for example. So number 1 is because Barney Stinson, the character. So the character of Barney Stinson, as I said, is a womanizer, and that's already problematic. And then he's not just a womanizer, he's kind of a sociopath with all the things he would do just to trick women into sleeping with him. So I'm not saying that people, turn him into an idol and stuff like that, although I do understand it. At the same time, in the show, he is get made fun of. People are actually concerned about his behavior, so it's not like they're saying that, oh, Barney's a womanizer. Isn't that great? Although there are some episodes that are like that. That's one. That's one issue. Barney as a character can be problematic. Number 2 is that the seasons, or the show, can get draggy at the later seasons. So around season 6, it starts to get slow. Season 7 to 9. 9 in particular is basically covering 2 days over 20-25 episodes. So that's crazy. And a lot of people were really complaining around that time. And yeah, I believe Jason Segel really wanted the series to end. He didn't want to continue on with it anymore, as it was really dragging along. Although I would say it's still entertaining, but we'll get there when we get to those seasons. And number 3, spoiler alert. So I'll be editing this video together, and I'll put a timestamp right here. 1, 2, 3. So you can skip to that if you don't want to hear this, because this one is a huge spoiler. Please don't watch it. The big issue is the finale. In the finale of the show, after we saw Barney and Robin grow up as people and then grow together as a couple, we saw Ted finally let go of Robin. The finale did the whole time jump. Barney and Robin got divorced, and Ted, and in the year 2030, was telling his kids this story so he can ask them if it would be alright if he asks Robin out. And that was so to a lot of people. Because as I said, we followed Barney growing up from being a sociopathic womanizer to becoming a real person. We also followed Robin being a workaholic to putting love first. We saw Ted, who was so singularly obsessed with Robin, to finally letting her go. And then it all just goes back. Yeah, I can understand why people don't like it. So again, these are the reasons you should watch, and reasons you probably don't want to watch How I Met Your Mother. I've been Jay from Raminimalist. I hope you liked this video, and I will see you next week.